I cannot tell you how monumentally done I am with this iteration of the Labour Party. Like, so finished. Like, so over the line. The line's been crossed. I'm there. I know I said I was teetering and benefit of the doubt, but this is it, guys. I've reached the tipping point and I'm finished. So I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about, as if it needs speaking about at all. It's been all over the news. There's actually two things that I want to talk about that have, brought me to this point. The first one is, and it's actually really obvious if you've been watching the news, is Natalie Elphicke's defection to the Labour Party this week, whereby she crossed the floor from the Conservatives and was embraced with open arms by Keir Starmer and co, who seemed to just feel like this was a really good fit for her. Natalie Elphicke, extreme right-winger, part of the ERG wing of the Conservatives, really hard line on migration, ex-husband of Charlie Elphicke, who's been accused of sexual assault, amongst other egregious things. And this has really caused a lot of frustration and fury amongst the Labour benches, let alone the backbenchers. It's just been, why on earth has this been allowed to happen? I think there's a massive open goal for Labour to win this next upcoming general election, and it's almost like he's just absolutely skied it by doing this stunt. There's absolutely no reason for him to do this. He could have very easily just decided to say no to her entering the party, because she's not standing in the next election anyway, so this really is just a temporary stunt, short-termist ploy to make Keir Starmer and Labour look, to make hay out of it and to look good in the real short term. But I just think in the long term, what the membership going to think of this? They'll be absolutely horrified, and rightly so, that the likes of Natalie Elphicke is allowed into the Labour Party, while people like Jeremy Corbyn and Diane Abbott are still suspended. What on earth does that say about the Labour Party currently? What does it say? That it's much happier accepting people from the right-wing fold of the Conservatives. And there were even jokes about, perhaps we should accept Nigel Farage next. Lol. There's such thing as a broad church, but a church has got walls, and there are limits to how many people with different opinions are allowed into one party. But according to Starmer and co, that seems fine. Annalise Dodds, who's the chair of the Labour Party, was actually lauding her and singing her praises and saying what a wonderful thing it was.
Do you think she's a good, natural fit for the Labour Party?
Well, I believe she is. You can see that in her statement, that what she set out is absolutely fundamental to the Labour Party.
I mean, I don't really know if this is going to backfire or not. I mean, it seems to me like Labour have got it in the bag for the next general election, but at this point, I am hoping for some sort of hung parliament, or a situation where the Labour has to borrow votes from the Green Party or the Lib Dems at this point, because their arrogance is just so off the scale. They think they can just ditch all the left-wingers who really want, progressive policies from Labour, but all they're seeing is just U-turn after U-turn after U-turn, which is just, it's more than disappointing. And yeah, it's just, that's another factor that's driven me away. So I'm just going to vote Green. I don't care now, and not giving Labour my vote, because frankly, they don't deserve it at this point. I don't know about you. Yeah, the second thing was a clip from, I think it was Times Radio's, one of their podcasts, where they were speaking to Peter Mandelson, a Labour old boy from the Blairite years, basically making the suggestion that the Green Party is now a repository for hard leftists and climate activists, and that's where all the disgruntled Labour voters and members are going now that they can see exactly what Keir Starmer is.
This is a very important development. I mean, a lot of these people are now leaving, quitting the Labour Party. They see that Starmer and his changed Labour Party and what he's about is here to stay. They can no longer attempt to overturn it. And I think it's significant also for the Green Party. The Green Party is becoming a dustbin, a bit of a repository, not only for climate activists, but for disgruntled hard leftists leaving the Labour Party and some fairly unpleasant hardline Free Palestine activists as well. They're all turning to the Greens.
According to Peter Mandelson, that's what he thinks about people like me. And probably people like you. We belong in some sort of dustbin, and that our opinions, our voices don't matter. But it's just the sheer arrogance, man. The sheer arrogance, the entitlement, the belief that they've got all of these votes in the bag. They don't need to rely on the left anymore. They don't need to pander to get our votes. They don't need to do a carrot and stick with here are some nice left-wing policies. Ditched all of that now. Ditched all of that, including most recently the 0-hour contract policy, where they did plan to ban it altogether, but news has recently sort of come out that they're planning to adapt that and change it so that employers can. It's optional for employers to have it rather than have a complete ban and just restrict them altogether. That's now not happening, which again says a lot about Labour and their the influence that employers and businesses have over them now. I'm disheartened and fed up and frustrated that this is where the Labour Party is at now, where they fully embrace the likes of Natalie Elphicke into the party, and people like Diane Abbott, who's been in the party for years and years, staunch left-wing, first black woman MP, is still suspended from the party after a year of her complaints inquiry going on and on about what she said about Jewish people and racism, which she has since apologised for. I'm completely done, guys. I'm just not going to vote for Labour. I'm not going to tactically vote. I'll just, if there is a Green standing in my constituency, I'll just vote for them, because I'm done with the Labour Party. Then they don't represent me anymore. They look on me in disgust. They don't want my vote. They've pretty much told me enough times in one form or another. They're not interested in getting me on board, getting me to like them. And yeah, it's just not happening anymore. I'm finished. Until there's a new leader and someone who's got more integrity and more of a backbone, I'm not going to vote Labour anymore. I don't know what you think or what your thoughts are on this. You're probably just as outraged as me, or not. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, pissed off. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. It also helps with the algorithm. And yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you again in another video.